Hey, it's Meg. Welcome to Meg Talks a Lot About True Crime. Today, as usual, Signs of a Psychopath. If you're new here, that's the show we're on right now. Zoe's leaving us. Hopefully she'll be back. Tiger's here with us today. Major is under the blanket somewhere. Anyways, we are doing season 3, episode 7, and it is called She Isn't Acting Dead Enough. So, I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I literally, oh my god, look how cute he is. Anyways, is that supposed to mean that she's faking her death? I don't even know. So, I'm already, if you can't tell, I just slurred that word for no reason. Actually, I know the reason. It starts with a C, and it means my mouth is dry. But I've already got as high as your hopes. So, I hope you did too, because we're about to puff past the evidence and figure out what is going on up in this show. Okay? So, let's get into it. Oh my god. Okay, let's go. Oh, and it's a Friday, so I'm having more.
We have an officer asked about the car, and we'll send him your way. Can you give me your name? Amanda. Amanda Gordon. Amanda, have you talked to anyone else in the other vehicle? Yeah. Thursday, 2:19 a.m.
This is the Stratford Police Department calling for Amanda Morton. We found your vehicle and couldn't find you. Give us a call. Thank you.
Minutes before she was kidnapped.
What? Bro, what? She called 911 because somebody hit her, and then when they showed up, she wasn't there. What the fuck? And so it turns out she was kidnapped. So it turns out she was kidnapped. It said right before she was kidnapped. Okay. So did the person, I'm assuming the person that hit her kidnapped her. Or what? That's terrifying. Oh. I'm scared. Okay, let's go.
Morton used a cell phone to report someone had just rear-ended her. Police found her car running, her purse inside, but they did not find Morton.
Just wanting to know what the hell we're going to do. I mean, common sense would tell you, here's this guy, and he's got you pulled up in front of a damn cemetery, walking you through the damn woods back here. What do you think's going to happen next?
Is that the guy? Okay, I've seen enough. I've seen enough of the intro right now. I've seen enough of the first minute to clue me in on what's happened. And now we're going to skip the intro. Because I'm pretty sure he's the killer. And I don't want him to tell me anything right now. Because I don't like spoilers. So, we'll see. And also, you know the drill. We don't watch intros in this house. And if you're new here, we don't watch intros in this house. So, skip that shit. I almost spilled my drink. Anyways, let's get back into it. Okay, skip an intro. Yeah, we're gonna skip through these people. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, guys. I'm unprepared. I'm unfreaking prepared. So let's go.
Amanda's family contacted news media Thursday morning and gave them Amanda's picture. Investigators got their break when a motel owner in Camden County saw her picture on the 5 o'clock news and called police. He said Amanda and a man in a pickup checked into his motel. That led police to St. Clair County, to the home of David Zink.
He was the killer. Okay.
How did you meet her again?
So, we had a wreck.
No.
She run into you?
No, I hit her.
Okay, so he is the killer. The kidnapper. I don't know if she's dead yet, but I can only imagine she is. This poor girl. This poor girl was just on her way home. 19 years old. On her way home. My thing is, though, did he see her driving and then purposely, like, get behind her and then rear-ended her? If you want to puff past the evidence as we go, please do. I encourage, I support. Anyways, so 19-year-old Amanda Morton was on her way home. This guy had to have targeted her, and he hit her from behind with his car. But it was probably, like, not hard enough to really cause damage, but enough for her to, like, pull over to the side of the road and for him to stop. And then that he took his chance and he kidnapped her. Weirdo. That's terrifying, though. Like, absolutely terrifying. Because I believe a new fear was just unlocked. What the fuck? I'm already stressed, you guys. I'm already stressed. So, let's find out what happened to poor Amanda. Also, this dude's mustache. Bruh. I would have taken one look at his face and not rolled my window down.
She was worried that she was going to get in trouble. I was worried that I was going to get in trouble. I knew that I was drunk. What was in my mind was not to go back to jail. And I figured, well, drunk, driving, DUI, parole violation, 13 years.
This man was driving drunk. Okay, so he didn't target her, apparently. He was driving drunk. And he rear-ended her. And he was scared that he was going to violate his parole and go back to prison for 13 years. So instead he kidnaps this woman. And leaves her car there. Adding even more years to his sentence. Like, 13 years ain't shit at that point. Bro, you should have just taken the DUI. The parole violation. Because at this point, now you got kidnapping. And you left her car there, so, like, they're going to find out whose car it is. I don't think he knew that she called 911 first. And that's why he was hoping that they wouldn't find him. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a partake in the hit and get back to it. Okay, y'all. I'm real distracted tonight. My meds didn't worn off, so y'all get me almost unmedicated. And so you're gonna get me a little unfocused tonight because my meds are wearing off. So I'm a little all over the place. But bear with me, okay? Okay. Let's go.
Nah, I ain't gonna do it.
You just let her know because you had to make your parole. Right. Because if you didn't make that...
That's why. So he could have still taken 13 years and a DUI. But instead, because he's a pedo, he decided to kidnap and rape her. Kidnap and SA her. Wait. What did I miss? He served 20 years for kidnapping, aggravated rape. He's on probation. Probation, bro? I mean, 20 years is a lot. But, like, not enough. I'm sorry, not enough. And he was on probation. Not parole? Just probation?
You just let her know because you had to make your parole. Right. Because if you didn't make that meeting, what happened?
Well, that's another violation.
Okay, now I know what was going on. So... he was afraid of being arrested for DUI when he hit her from behind. So, he kidnapped her because he didn't want to miss his parole meeting the next morning, I'm assuming. But, like, if he was drunk, they could probably smell alcohol on him the next day. And I don't know. I thought there was a thing. Maybe that's only. I don't know. I don't know anything about probation. Okay, sorry. I'm losing it. Distracted. Okay, let's go. Also, smoking in that room. Ugh. I would be dying.
You started one kind of mad about them. Now we're in a position where my ass is in trouble. Since it's in trouble, you're going to pay too. I actually kind of told her to get in trouble, so she didn't really have much of a choice in that matter.
He can play the easygoing nice guy. He uses that kind of calm, cool persona to move his plans along and seems to do so with pretty good success.
Amanda just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I have no doubt that he lulled her into going with him because he was charming. We as humans are socialized to believe that people who are humorous are likable and people who are likable are trustworthy. So it's a really unfortunate reality that he was able to exploit as a psychopath that assumption we make as humans.
He
is not perceiving people as other human beings. He's seeing them as objects, in this case, that are in his way. To me, the Zinc case is all about self-preservation. He's going to do whatever it takes to preserve himself being out of prison.
Yeah, but it's also not just about that. This man has kidnapped a woman before, or assaulted a woman, kidnapped, whatever it said, kidnapped and essayed, or I think that's what it said. Anyways, so he's done that before. It's not just about preserving himself from jail or keeping himself out of jail. It's more than that. This man has a fetish, a sickness, that he is clearly a psychopath, has no emotions, no regard for anything, but he has a fixation on females. And he decides to, this was a motive of opportunity for him. Like, he rear-ended someone, but him walking up on her window like that and finding out, like, this is a young, cute, petite girl, and that's what he liked. So he took full advantage of that. Because he felt like he felt good in that moment. It's not just to keep him out of jail. Keeping him out of jail, that was just, yes, kidnapping her and taking her away, but you leave her car with her license plate. Like, obviously he wants to stay out of jail, so he's going to try to do whatever it takes, but he has a thing. Oh, I'm getting heated. That comment made me mad. Didn't make me mad. That comment made me a little heated. Stressed me out a little bit. And I got a little dry mouth. So, let's go.
Once we got the truck, then it was cool. We just took off. I had $1 million bill in my pocket, which was fake. She didn't know the damn difference. And I gave it to her, and it was like, oh man, like, I told her I was a bank robber, but I ain't no bank robber. And she was like, highly impressed with the $1 million bill. It wasn't real.
This poor naive little girl. She's not even little. This poor naive 19-year-old girl. Because I know at the age of 19 there was no way in hell I was going to believe there was $1 million bill. Like, bro, what the fuck? No one, nowhere, not even in the game of Monopoly is there $1 million bill. So what the fuck? It's just weird. This poor girl.
They're both tired. I pulled into this motel and I went into the office to register. She paid me in. Guy tells me he wants $50 for the room. I told him I was trying to rent the room, not buy it.
Assuming this did actually happen, it gives you the sense that he was not in any way...
I don't remember what year this was. But I thought it was 2001. Is $50 for a room too much? I don't know. In 2001, I was under the age of 10.
Afraid. He was not in any way unsure about what he was doing. He was making jokes with the cashier.
He's self-assured. He keeps his cool. He's got the persona down pat of being, you know, like a good old boy, and everything is under control, and that is spooky. She's in the office with him, which I find more incredible. Like, here's this girl, and she doesn't flip out and say, call the police. So she obviously, on some level, must have trusted him or didn't see him as a threat. This just really illustrates how he manipulated her, or, you know, lied to her.
Little did she know, he was a killer. Zink.
No. Do they have video footage? Because I do not. I keep thinking I see a poof of my hair right here. And it's literally Tiger's tail. Like. Anyways. I do not think that she was all cool and trusted him in any freaking way. This man that she has no idea who he is just hit her car and she was trying to make it home for curfew. She would not just go with the man to a hotel and rent a room. Like, who the does that? I'm sorry, what are these people saying right now? I'm so confused. They're literally getting under my skin because you're dumb. You're probably not dumb, but ain't no way this girl was doing any of that. I'm gonna have to go read about this case after this. Because I think she was more like scared of him. I think he had a weapon. And that's why she wasn't trying to alert somebody.
Kidnapped her, took her to a motel near Camdenton where he raped her.
You have any kind of sexual relationship with her? I'm not going to say yes or no on that, because then you'll try to make it into a sex thing, and it wasn't that. That's what the TV's tried to make us into, a sexual thing, and it wasn't that at all. It was, in fact, an accident, and because of my previous criminal history, they're going to make this out to be a sex-driven crime. It wasn't that to start with.
He's a psychopath who is lying his way through this portion of the interrogation. Zink's DNA was found on Amanda's body. There is no doubt that there was some sort of sexual interaction.
It's a little odd. Killing someone's okay, but don't think about me as a rapist. There are a lot of crimes you can commit that wind you up in jail, but sex crimes are seen as sort of the low man on the totem pole, because sex crimes make you a target in jail. If you're a rapist, everyone will say, well, I have a sister or a wife or a mother, so you're a piece of garbage. And if it's a kid, forget it. They emerge in prison, at least, as likely targets for sexual abuse themselves.
That's the only reason he's denying it, yes. But he most definitely raped her. And this man is disgusting. And he's just telling the story like so nonchalant. Ugh.
And you just want to be seen that way.
After you left the motel, where'd you go? It was kind of a weird situation. Amanda started, well, you gotta take me home. I told her, well, would you have to go to the parole officer before we go doing anything else? That was.
No, he was going to his parole officer that night. What? I'm so confused. So confused. This man is saying that he went to a hotel. Meiji, stop dreaming, honey. You're dreaming. You're dreaming under here. He's like shaking because he's dreaming. He's having a bad dream. Takes her to the motel. Has consensual with her. And then she's like, okay, you have to take me home. And he's like, I gotta go to my parole officers. The meeting with my parole officer first. And that wasn't sitting real well with her. So I assume she starts freaking out and she's like, no, take me home. But this is weird. I don't think she was just like, okay, well, you gotta take me home. I think she was like, can I please go home now? Like, she was probably terrified. Ugh, this man is disgusting.
Sat real well with her. She's wanting to know what the hell we're gonna do. But I know that by this time that I'm gonna have to eliminate her because she knows my name.
Zink has a strange disconnect in his thought process right now because on the one hand, he's saying he has no intention of going back to an incarcerated life. But on the other hand, he's sort of giving into the simplest, most obvious solution, which is also the most ridiculous, the most antisocial, and the most violent. But for Zink, it isn't as much of a leap. He has a problem to solve, and this is a logical solution.
If I think that you're going to pose a threat to my freedom, has set in my mind that I will eliminate you.
This girl did nothing wrong. She was literally just driving home, trying to make her curfew. This is insane, y'all. This is literally insane. I cannot with this. I can't. This man is crazy.
You're set on self-preservation. I guess you could use those words. That ain't exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking my ass ain't going back to the joint.
Zink underwent psychological evaluations as part of his court cases, and they really give you a sense of how his psychopathy manifested from an early age. The report reads, Zink was afraid of his mother, who suffered from depression and was impatient, nervous, and irritable. She was very harsh with him and often yelled at him, grabbed him, and talked down to him. She provided little guidance or discipline. She would get drunk a lot and would get angry. Zink hid from her. And here's what Zink says about his father. The same report reads, when Zink was 4, his father was involuntarily committed to a mental hospital for several months. His father often talked of suicide or engaged in suicidal behaviors, even in front of Zink and his 2 sisters. Zink saw his father take a gun and threaten to shoot himself. I don't think they're necessarily modeling psychopathy here, but they are modeling violent behavior. So he has whatever genetics are there. He has this upbringing where he's neglected. This is the recipe for psychopathy here.
If you're talking nature versus nurture, I really do think that, there is some temperament that you're born with. For example, if you're a high risk taker and you're fearless, maybe you become a firefighter. Or, depending on the environment you grow up in, you become a bully, or you become someone that engages in criminal behavior. But the environment will lead you down a path to acting that temperament out in some fashion. We know he's a risk taker, so if you grow up in a house where there is violence, he does set the tone, perhaps, for becoming the kind of person he became.
I go all the way up to the church.
I mean, yeah. What the that is like a really, really traumatizing childhood. And he should have gotten psychological help. That man should have had a psychiatrist. That's all I need to say. Because what? I can't even imagine, like, going through that. I feel like CPS should have been a little bit involved if that was the case. That's literally insane. It's insane. And honestly, grow from it. I mean, I have mental illness. I have mental issues, so I know all about it. But I try to deal with it, you know? And I ain't got mental issues like that. I ain't trying to murder people. But I'm mind blown right now. I can't even imagine. But at the same time, that's not an excuse at all. So, that guy. I stopped it at 10 minutes and 18 seconds in the show. I'm gonna take a break because I'm stressed out right now and I need yeah, so don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you take a break. I hope you smoke. If you drink, I hope you drink. Again, if you drink a mocktail, if you drink a tea, if you do whatever, I support you. I'll see you back in 5. Mwah. Whew. That one was a big one. And that's my cue. As usual. That cough is my cue, but usually the hit's not that big. That one made me a little bit hot. Ooh. So, we are back. Guys, we're back. We are back. We are watching season 3, episode 7 of Signs of a Psychopath. This dude is a psychopath. That's show. So, to recap, we left off at 10 minutes and 18 seconds into the show. This man rear-ended this 19-year-old girl on accident because he was drunk and he had already kidnapped and SA'd a girl before, and he had spent 20 years in prison, and this man didn't want to go back. So not only was it a moment of like opportunity for this man because he likes what young women, but he also didn't want to go back to jail, so he kidnaps her, takes her to a motel. Zink is his name. Takes her to a motel where he essays her, leaves, and he says that she's like, okay, now you're gonna take me home. And he's like, no, I have to go meet with my parole officer first. Bro, what? I'm sorry, what? The fuck? Like the parole officer's not gonna smell alcohol on you? Interesting. So, anyways. And he goes, at that moment, sorry, I think I had a hair in my mouth. He goes, at that moment, I knew I had to eliminate her. Basically, like, anybody that gets in his way and risks him going back to jail, he's like, I gotta eliminate them. So yeah, he's a psychopath. Also, his mama was a drunk. She had mental issues. She was mean to him, abusive, yelled at him a lot. And his dad went into a psychiatric hospital. He was committed for a few months. And he threatened to shoot himself in front of him and his sisters. So yeah, this man needed some help. But instead, he decided to act on it. So, we're gonna go back into it. But, I'm glad I took a little break. Because that was messing with my head. It was fucking with my brain. And I have no words. I have no words for what I saw. Not even what I saw, not even what I've seen yet. What I've heard from this man. We don't even know what fully happened to the young girl yet. We have 11 minutes and 34 seconds left, so. I'm glad I puff past the evidence again. I'm more than higher than your hopes. And I hope you are too. But if you aren't, sorry about you. I hope you took a break. But if you didn't, that's okay. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn on your notifications. And let's get back into it. And right now, I have no dogs with me. So I'm all on my own. Wish me luck.
Cemetery sits there. I'm just gonna take her out there and kill her.
She saying anything to you?
Yeah, she's wanting to know what the hell we're gonna do. Common sense would tell you, here's this guy, and he's got you pulled up in front of a damn cemetery, walking you through the damn woods back here. What do you think's gonna happen next? You know, it's pretty simple.
There's some amusement he takes in the fact that she's not getting it. She's essentially being escorted to her death. He's not telling her the truth about what's going to happen. It's all sadistic. But he doesn't want her to panic. So he's staying cool.
To him, it's extremely logical that she should be using common sense at this point, when nothing about this invokes the idea of common sense.
No.
To Zink,
I gotta pause real quick. I forgot I got a fruit roll up on the break. I didn't want it to make a lot of noise, so I went ahead and opened it. And so we was about to snatch that hell up. It looked real good, girl, but you can't have none of this. I don't know how you eat your fruit roll-ups. I don't care how you eat your fruit roll-ups. Don't judge how I eat my fruit roll-ups. Okay? Actually, it's just gonna be... It's just easier. Two of the dogs are back. Major and Zoe. She's mad because she wants this, but she can't have it. Okay, anyways, let's get back into it. I don't care what this man says. This must be the sweetest, like, most non-violent woman, 19-year-old woman, ever? For her not to be freaking out.
all of these pieces do connect in a very cohesive way, but they don't. It's part of the narcissistic tendency to feel like you have everything under control and figured out.
About 6 hours later at 4 in the morning, investigators recovered Amanda's body from a shallow grave in this cemetery.
She'd been strangled and stabbed.
I
drove with you, or did you find one laying around?
I told you he had a weapon. So if she was calm, that's probably why. This poor girl was like, if I do what he says, basically, maybe he'll let me live. That's probably what she was thinking. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
It was like raining for me. I just stuck in the pocket and said, let's go this way. Then I took her down that little path, got down in there and told her, okay. And tied her hands behind her back and then tied her to the tree. Okay. Then you had this other rope about 10 foot long. Put that around her neck. Yeah. I was just holding it from a wrap around it. Okay, just like made a loop and then held it. And then I told her, well, I'm going to have to kill you. She says, why? And so I laid it on my neck. So I told her, what?
This poor girl. Like, I actually... For once, Meg has no words. I mean, I've had no words a lot in this. Because this man come on, Zoe. Okay, girl. She ought to show her ass. She still thinks she's getting some. You don't want to be on camera? You want to come lay right here? You want me to turn it on? Anyways, this poor girl, she had no other choice but to accept her fate right here in this moment, and I cannot even imagine how terrifying it is, or how what is it? Terrifying. Painful. Oh my gosh, girl. So, y'all, I lose my train of thought all the time. So, welcome to the chaos. Anyways. Okay. We have to listen to him tell how he did it. Oh my god.
She said, no prayer. I said, a prayer. When she looked up, I broke her neck. And how did you do that? Just snapped her with your hands, yeah.
Never mind. I'm glad he made it quick. But what the actual... Oh my god.
His description of the murder is highly sanitized. The fact that they found dirt in her mouth or seminal fluid in her anus suggests that there was a deeper level of psychopathology taking place than he cared to discuss.
In looking at the court records and psychological evaluations that were available on Zink, here's an excerpt that gives us some of that information. By the time he was 10, Zink was placed in foster care. Within a few weeks, Zink ran away. Around that time, his foster mother found him making a noose out of a rope. He had an emerging obsession and fixation or focus on strangulation from a very, very young age. Clearly, there was a willingness to start to skirt the idea of death, the idea of violence, the idea of strangulation.
fact that he had rope in his car, I don't know if that's just a coincidence. You don't have to tie a dead body to a tree, but you do have to tie a live body to a tree so that they can't struggle. It raises, I guess, deeper concerns about how savage he really is.
I feel my whole body tensed up right now. I mean, you can see it in my neck. I'm like freak out. What the are we watching? I feel like I'm watching a real life motherfucking horror movie. Oh my god, I gotta relax. Oh my god. Y'all. Because what I am imagining right now is he tied her up. He was from behind her, and then he told her to look up as he but then I'm remembering the title of this episode and how it's called the she's not dead enough, and how I thought it was about a woman faking her death or something, and now my mind is motherfucking blown.
Before she died, when you had her out there at the cemetery and tied her up, had she said anything or,
Her last word?
Yeah.
We'll never know if those were actually her last words, but in one way or another, he wanted you to know that there's some connection with his mom and why he's doing this too. The connections between Zink and his mom were really apparent in the court records as well. The court records say, although the foster family wanted to adopt him, he always fantasized about going back home. At age 14, Zink asked to move home, but his mother refused, devastating him. The thing that really pops out to me here is this element of maternal rejection, which in the psychopathy literature is very...
Stop. Okay, so yeah, he didn't live with his parents. CPS was involved. Okay, yeah, thank you. But this dude was fantasizing about tying a rope around his mama everywhere, and I think every time he did this, he thought about his mom. It's insane. But also, I wonder if it's only been 2 women.
prominent. And this is not an everyday maternal rejection. This is, mom gave him up, but it is not inevitable that anyone who's rejected either mother is going to be a psychopath. It is one piece of the very, very complicated puzzle that goes into creating a psychopath. And it is not an excuse for what he turned into and what he did.
Well, then she's still making a little noise, so I pulled the rope to tighten it around her neck so she couldn't make any noise. Finally, she collapsed on the rope that's holding her hands.
Come on.
Cut the twine loose from her hands, put the twine in the pocket, but she ain't acting dead enough for me yet. There's the nerves, what have you.
There's the title. He's smiling as he said, "She ain't acting dead enough for me yet." I literally cannot. I'm like, what? The y'all. They need to lock him up and throw away the key. Like, pronto.
Anything else? No. Wasn't nothing to do but to get rid of her now. I then drove her down to the place where I buried her. I knew that she had to be dead by now. I said, once she revived, you know, I've heard people getting buried and coming, you know, thinking that they were dead. And so to make sure that she was going to remain that way, I just decided, well, I'll cut her spinal cord and neck. You ain't going to live through that.
This is the kind of statement that gives you this icky feeling that you're just shouldn't be hearing something like this. We see that he was torturing her, he was beating her, he was playing with her as an object, and
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you mean to tell me that snapping her neck wasn't enough? And you decide to... I literally can't with this man. I can't. I can't. I can't.
it takes it to a whole other level.
And unlike some other psychopaths, he doesn't really even make an attempt to pretend that he feels bad. He doesn't try to pretend that he has emotions or that he's even really bothered or disturbed by it.
What kind of knife are we looking at? Art knife. How'd you bury her? What did you use? Run over to the house, and I think my stepmom was inside, and I think I went inside and got some tea or something to drink. I don't think I talked to anybody at the time. My dad wasn't there. I went out and got a shovel, threw it in the back of the truck, went back over to the cemetery, and I threw a little bit of dirt over it.
He's not panicked. This is just a normal day. Like, it's no big deal. And
He's like, yeah, let me run home and grab some snacks and I'll be right back. This is diabolical. I don't have another word for it. I need to open a dictionary and find a word. I need to open a dictionary and find a word worse than that. If you know a word worse than diabolical, comment down below.
And that really, I think, sums up a lot of how Zink, as a psychopath, sees his crimes. He's just really not broken up by them.
One thing that's really notable from Zink's childhood is that he seemed to have a pretty severe case of meningitis. And the results of this PET scan were consistent with some of the brain abnormalities that we know about psychopaths in the literature. For example, he had less activation in the amygdala and the cingulate, both of which are very important areas in the brain involved in fear and emotional response. So the fact that these areas are underactivated in psychopaths and in Zink is not surprising. He is not afraid at all of the consequences.
What did you do with the shovel after you were done? Cleaned it, boiled it, put it up. Where'd you put it at? Where I found it.
Is there anything else you want to add to it before you turn this thing off?
Nothing at this point.
After his arrest, Zink exchanged letters with a local TV news journalist. Here are some excerpts from it. I've secretly always wanted to be a serial killer. Your preconceived idea that this is a crime motivated by some type of sexual perversion. You don't even come close. There's no sex in the world that can give you a pleasure of taking a life. watching their eyes and knowing that I have the power to give or take that life. I hope that you would just put this letter in the trash. Nothing good can come from selling death. Have a good day, David Zink. It's almost his manifesto in a way. He wants to control the narrative and say, hey, put me on TV, and this is the story I want you to tell.
But you heard none of that kind of talk during his interview. Nothing even remotely like that. He's kind of a liar. And he's playing games to sidestep the whole notion that he's driven by perverse, violent sexual fantasies.
There seem to be a multitude of risk factors here, where he has these biological variants and his tumultuous upbringing that all come together here and really create a recipe for a psychopath.
Mr. Zink, would you please rise? We, the jury, having found the defendant, David Stanley Zink, guilty of murder in the first degree of Amanda L. Morton, now assess and declare the punishment at death.
Any reaction to that, Tony? Maybe that'll dull the needle before they're shoving in my arm.
The Morton family says they'll now move on and try to come to grips with what's happened. What will you tell Amanda and your parents tonight?
We got it for you, baby. As well as we can do, we got justice for you.
What the? First of all, I just have to point out that he was executed on my birthday. So that's good. Because he deserved it. He was crazy as I'm freaking mind blown. I thought the last guy was crazy. Crazy, like psycho. But this man is psycho. This man is diabolical. Like, even the letter. Don't post this or like whatever. Just throw it in the trash. Death. You shouldn't make money on death. But like, why write the letter and send it to a journalist when it's literally their fucking jobs? Bro, you can't convince me that you did not want that publicized, okay? I am so glad he got the death penalty. Like, really. And they took him out. But that poor girl, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ugh, had she just like been late for curfew, like by a minute. Or just early by a minute. Oh my god. So much can happen literally within such a short amount of time. So like I say all the time, be aware of your surroundings. Lock your mother doors. People are crazy. And nobody can be trusted. Okay? Like, don't just always trust people right off the bat. Okay? Because, prime example, number one, right here. This one's gonna stick in my brain. I actually think I might go read more about it. Because I kind of want to know if he killed more people. So. Wow. I have a headache from that, I swear. Ugh. Like, my body's so tense. I felt like I was in that interview room, I swear. It looked like he was looking into my soul. So, on that note, I'm gonna let y'all go. Because I need to refresh my brain. And, yeah. As usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn on your notifications, comment. Oof. I think that sobered me up. I gotta go get refried, so I will talk to y'all next week. Hopefully next week's episode is not as crazy because I just literally, I need a break. Oh my god, give me something not so crazy. Actually, I love the crazy, so maybe not, but maybe not so brain fried. I don't know. Anyways, love you guys. Bye.